In this video, I will show you what GoPro settings I use for car and track driving. Hello YouTube and welcome back to another video. I've been asked quite a few times to make a video on my GoPro settings, so here they are. I will also talk about the two main things that I think ruin videos and make them unwatchable at times. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel as I really want to get to the magical 1000 subscribers mark. I've done a lot of research into GoPro settings and I'm not saying my settings are the best, but I do think that they work quite well. Grab your GoPro and follow along. These settings will work on all GoPros, but how you get to the preferences, for instance, might be slightly different. I'm using a GoPro Hero 8 in this example, but they are all very similar. When you turn your GoPro on, you can see the mode or preset you're in at the bottom. I've called mine Epic, and if you click on this and go to the bottom, you can click the plus button to add a new preset. If you do want to edit one, then you can click on the pencil next to it. It depends what you want to do with your videos on what quality you want to record them in. I always record in 4K. As you know, it will be crisp, and I also upload videos to YouTube in 4K. I record in 60 FPS, which is 60 frames per second. I edit my videos in 24 FPS, so I could record in 24. The reason that I use 60 is because if I ever want to slow a video down, it will still be in good quality and not jerky. To be honest, I've only done this a handful of times, but it gives me the option if I want to. Obviously, the higher quality and more frames per second that you have, the bigger the files will be, so less recording time on your memory card. I always used 256 gig ScanDisk micro SD cards, which I'll leave a link to in the description below. Lens. I use a wide lens, and after doing lots of testing, I personally think this is the best. Super view I think is too wide, and it also gives a bit of a fishbowl effect at times. I also think that linear is too narrow. Hypersmooth I have turned it off while mounted to the car, and I will talk about this later as it depends a lot on the situation. Low light is not applicable. Zoom is 1, and you can also zoom in while you're editing, especially when recording in 4K. Clips I turn off as I record for long periods of time, and this is for making short videos of 15 or 30 seconds. Bitrate I have as standard, as this makes a massive difference to the amount of footage that you can record. On my 256 gig card, if I have this set to high, it's 4 hours and 55 minutes. If it's set at standard, then you get 8 hours 25. Using high will give you a better image though, but personally I think standard is just fine. Shutter I have as auto. I've tried different settings, but while you are driving, you go through different conditions, and this seems best for my usage. EV comp I use minus 0.5 because sometimes the GoPro overexposes the image, and this can be changed while editing. Personal choice a bit, you could use 0 or even -1. White balance I use auto, as this is easily changed while editing, and again conditions are always changing while you're driving. ISO min is 100 and the max is 1600. This is a subtle change, and you could leave it at standard, which I think is 800. When I've watched other videos on settings, they recommend 1600, but it's a very subtle difference, I think. Sharpness I have set to high. This is personal choice again, but I think high, the image just seems a bit crisper to me. For colour I use GoPro. This might also be called vibrant on newer GoPros. I don't want to use colour correction while editing, but if you know what you were doing and you want to do that, change it to flat. Most people would want the colour set to GoPro or vibrant, I would think. Raw audio I have set to off, as I use an external mic anyway. Wind, auto again, because I use an external mic. Mics is grayed out, and when you plug in an external mic, this will go to standard mic or whatever mic you have. Shortcuts are personal preference, and to be honest, I don't really use them. I could have them all set to off. And that is it for the preset, so give it a save if it's a new one, or just go out of it. There are a few things that I would recommend in the preferences on your GoPro. To go to preferences, swipe down and click on preferences. Yours might be slightly different depending on what GoPro that you have. In general, I would advise to have quick capture to set to on, and also to the default preset set to last used video. This means that if you click on the red button to record while the camera is off, then it will use the last preset. Video compression I have as H.264 and HEVC. This just means that it gives you more options for using your footage, but it's kind of personal preference. In regional, I have GPS set to on. This means that you can add what GoPro call stickers. These are a number of different things which could include the track that you're on, or speed, or G-force, stuff like that. You don't have to use these on your videos, but having the GPS set to on, it gives you the option to use them. That's it really for the preferences, and all the other ones are personal preference really. If you take one thing away from this video, it should be about stabilisation. If you have a stable mount on your roll bar, say, for the camera, then please turn stabilisation off. You sometimes get a little wobble, but the camera will always point where you want it to. If you have stabilisation turned on, then you get this panning effect, which I don't think looks good at all. As you can see going around the corners, it goes from side to side and then kind of goes back to the middle, and for me personally, I really don't like the look. If, for instance, you are attaching your GoPro to your helmet or to a mount that will wobble, or for instance you're holding it while walking, then you do want stabilisation on. If you don't have it on, it will be very shaky. Here is a clip that I took when I only had one GoPro and I forgot to turn the stabilisation back on when I had it in my hands walking around. This was footage from a Caterham Open Day, and this footage was unusable because it was too shaky. The second thing that makes some videos hard to watch or even unwatchable is bad sound. Especially in Caterhams or open-top cars, you need an external mic because otherwise the sound is quite unbearable, I think. Here is a clip that doesn't have an external mic. Here is a clip that does have an external mic. I've already made a video on kind of my GoPro setup and what mic and things that I use. I will add the link in the description to that video and also add it at the end of this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. I'm releasing a video every Sunday this year, so subscribe if you don't want to miss one. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.